Hi, welcome to the Left-Handed Chef. I'm in a new place. I have moved, and a friend of mine helped me move. Her name was Nikki, and she loves Picadillo Cuban stew. And so today I'm going to make that. So we're going to cut up some garlic and onions. And I love Cuban food. It is one of the best around. And my friend Nikki is a good friend of my sister. She helped her move in this weekend, and I love having my sister close by. So making stews are very easy. So I got my pan going. I'm going to turn it down to a medium heat. And then we're going to go in with the onion and pepper, green pepper, and garlic. And we're going to cook that for a few minutes. So all right. And this is a very easy dish, quick dish. It's a recipe that only takes about 30 minutes to cook. And it's a one pan dish to go with everything that I've been doing, trying to make things easier for everybody. So I got a cast iron skillet on here on medium heat. I'm gonna go in with my oil. And then I'm gonna go in with my onion. And when you're working with cast iron, you want to go in. You want to get it. You want to get it hot. It takes a while for it to heat up. And so what I like to do is before I cook, I just like to have it on at a low heat, so it slowly gets up, so it's not so harsh when you go in. And just push it around, get a little bit of color. And the pan will cool down once you have stuff in it. So a nice medium heat will do just fine. So now we're going to go in with the pepper. So I got a green pepper for this. And just, you want to medium dice this just like you did the onions. Like so. And I'm using my assisted cutting board. I got this cutting board on Amazon, and it's been very helpful to me with my injury, so to speak. And just make sure, cut carefully, take your time, don't rush. Make sure you have a sharp knife. Having a sharp knife is key to cutting. We used to always say it's better to cut yourself with a sharp knife than a dull knife, because you might have to get a tetanus shot. Well, not mine. You will have to get a tetanus shot. And we don't want to do that, do we? So now we're going to go in with the pepper. Stir that around. Going with a little salt, a little pepper, and then we'll chop up the garlic. And we'll go in with that last. And the reason is garlic will burn very quickly. And so you want to go in with that after you've gone in with your onions. Unless it's going to be quick. You want to be short time with your garlic. A lot of people want to put it in right away and it burns, and then you just end up with burnt garlic. Just doesn't taste good. All right. So we're going to let that go for a couple minutes. And while we're waiting, we'll cut the tomatoes. And you want to medium dice these as well. And I got 4 of these. So we're going to cut those up like that, and then we're going to brown our meat before we add the tomatoes. All right, so that's starting to come along nicely. Onions are looking good, nice in color on the onions. The peppers are sweating a little bit. Now's a good time to go in with the meat. And I have a mixture of ground beef, pork, and veal. And you want to do about a pound, a little over a pound and a half. And you want to season the meat with a little salt, a little pepper, a little paprika, and a little cayenne. And just break it up. Smash it down and let it brown. Let that brown for a few minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll put in the tomatoes and some dried spices and some vinegar. So keep up to date with everything. I will put the recipe in the description. So I'm going to let this brown off camera, and then I'll come right back. All right, the meat's browning, finishing up, and the onions and the peppers and the garlic smells so good. Went up a little bit higher in temperature. So now what you want to do is you want to go in with the tomatoes. Now you can use canned tomatoes if you want, if tomatoes aren't in season, but we're still in North Carolina. We still have some tomatoes, so I got some vine ripened tomatoes. And I'm going to go in right now. I'm going to turn the temperature up so I can get that going. And we'll just mix that in there. And let that cook for about a minute or two. And then we'll go in with some dried spices. Going with a little bit more salt. and a touch of pepper. All right, so we'll set that over there. So this is a nice dish. I love Cuban food. I love Cuban music. If I wasn't on YouTube, I'd be playing some right now. I didn't know that when I have one video where I was playing music. Now, some people, oh, play music. Well, if you're not doing a YouTube, play music. Do whatever you can to make yourself feel happy. All right, so now we're going to turn it down to medium heat. I'm going to go in with some spices. We're going with a couple bay leaves. And we're going with some ground cinnamon. We're going to go in with some ground cumin. We're going with some nutmeg. I know these flavors may seem odd, but it will be delicious. Some ground coriander. And then we'll stir that up. But don't be scared of it because of the spices. Give it a shot. If you've never had anything like this, give it a chance. There's a reason stuff like this is delicious. There's so many different places in the world that serve good food, and it may seem weird to you, but it's delicious to the people that are cooking it. So now we're going with a little red wine vinegar. Oh. About a quarter cup. And then we're just going to let that stew for about 20 minutes. And then we'll check it again for flavor. And then for the last 10 minutes, we're going to go with some chopped olives and some raisins. So stay tuned. All right. So we're coming along nicely. This has been stewing beautifully. The flavor in it is really, really good. So now we're going to go in with the chopped olives and the raisins. And this may seem odd, but it's so delicious. And like I said, give everything a chance. And you can use whatever olives, use green olives, but you can use pimentos, you can use them without pimentos, whichever you feel is better for you, but try to always use a green olive. And then once you chop those up, we're going to plop those in the stew. And then we're going to go in with the raisins. I'm going to do about a handful. About 10 to 12 olives and about a handful of raisins. And then you're going to let this stew for another 10 minutes. and then we'll taste it again. And the stew will plump up those raisins, reconstitute them, so you don't have to worry about doing that ahead of time. If you're in a hurry, you can do them ahead of time. And if you don't like raisins, give it a shot. And if you still don't like it, then you can leave it out. But it adds a layer of complexity to this dish that is just amazing. So we'll let that stew for another 10 minutes and then we'll taste it and we'll see where we're at. All right, we're back. It's been stewing for about 10 minutes. And we'll taste it. Make sure you're stirring occasionally. Let's get a little bit of olive, tomato, let's get a little bit of everything. Make sure it's not hot. Ooh, it's hot. The olives and the raisins really come together. And you can serve this just like it is, or serve it over rice, which I like to do. You can serve it with some rice and black beans. You can serve it with some sort of flatbread if you want to as well. But it's good just the way it is. So that is for you, Nikki, Picadillo, Cuban style. Thank you so much. Y'all enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And give me any comments. This is a new setup, so it's going to take me a little bit to figure out how to do it here. But hope you guys enjoyed it. And thank you.